Okay, this is Donnie. I'm going to do this tutorial to show you how to add a page. Now, Stacy, I don't know how often we'll be adding pages while we're working with you, or how many you'll be adding. We'll probably be adding some of those, but just so you'll have it for future reference, should you want to add a page, this is what we need to do. Now, this is probably going to take two parts because of our length of time. The service I use is just 5-minute videos, so it'll probably take a couple to do all the things that it takes to add a page, but we'll take this step by step. Okay, so we're going to add a page, and let's say we want to do a page about community. We're going to do one that talks about our community service. I'm just using it as an example. And so what you'll do is you'll come to your dashboard and go over here to pages, and you can either hit add new when it pops out like that, or you can hit the pages button, and up here at the top there's an add new button there too. Okay, first and foremost, when you enter the page title, the way I like to do it is, for instance, if we have Pearson on the services page, it's pearsonair.com/services. That's real easy for people to remember. How we get that, if we want to have pearsonair.com/community, is we'll simply type community here. Really, and what you'll see is that it automatically kind of pulls up what they call the permalink for that particular page, and that's what we really want. And now at this point, what I always like to do is publish the page. It's not visible, you can't see it anywhere, so it's no big deal. It kind of locks in that permalink. You can always come back and edit it, but it just makes it simpler when you do that. So now let's say we want to put in some text that says Pearson Air is involved in our communities throughout, again, type North Texas. Click here to see our services or something like that. I don't know. Making it up as I go. And now, this is where you add the page. Now, obviously, you can come back in here and add a PDF document. If you want to add a photo of any kind, you'll come in here and put your cursor where you want to do that, and you'll add media. The thing with photos you have to be careful really about is the size of them. There's only a certain amount of space, and so you don't want to just grab a huge image directly from someone's camera, because those are gigantic. So you have to size them down. So I'd probably say is just work with us if you're going to put an image on the page, and we'll help you get it sized appropriately. Now, there's a couple things we need to talk about as far as, let's say we want to bold that text, and we want to say click here for our services. We've already talked about how we can link this to pearsonair.com/services. I can type that in, or I could have just pasted it in from something I'd already copied. But if you were to update the page, now if I go to the Pearson Air site, you're not going to see that anywhere. But if I was to type up here in my URL, which you can't see on the screen, but if I type that on there, pearsonair.com/community, you can see it goes to the community page. This is exactly what we just typed. Now, notice too, this little area here, these little boxes that are on the right side, and then this is the Facebook page inserted in this. This is considered to be a sidebar. Now, the site is set up so that the default template to this thing has a sidebar built into it. So let me show you about that. When we go over to create a new page, down over here on the side, don't worry about anything to do with this parent and no parent. We're not going to use that. But this one right here, we might do something with. And so this is a default template. We leave it at that. If we were, I believe, change this to a landing page, I believe if we do that, let me see what happens. I believe, yeah, it kind of comes to a single page where there's nothing on there, and that's not necessarily what we want to do on this particular thing. And so you want to kind of keep it always to the default template, and if there's ever a time you want to do something differently, talk to us about that so we can deal with that. But what you want to do is just a default template. You don't worry about this order and all that stuff. You don't really worry about anything else. We'll get into some SEO stuff another time. And this is pretty much what you want to do. This theme is also set up so you can do this little, you see that over there. And if I update it, where's my update? You're going to see a different look. We're going to stop here and get on to the part 2.